The live stream of tonight's podcast is made possible by our buddy Ian Service over at podcastaccelerator.com.
Shoresy and Sanger deliver their pitch to bring in Goodie, JJ, Dolo, and Hitch. Along with 3 gyms, their chances may be slim for their plan to go off without a glitch.
Tanya, you ready?
Yes.
Good, because you're fucking going.
Yeah! Matt, you ready?
Yes.
Good, because you're fucking going.
Yeah! Victor, you ready?
It's not a goldfish.
Good, because you're going.
Yeah!
That fresh produce stand there, that's a beauty.
What do you listen to?
My favorite murder podcast.
Taggart and Torrance podcast.
The produce stand.
Fucking sexy.
It's Thirsty Thursday, and that means we are once again hanging out at the produce stand. A podcast paying tribute to the great Canadian show Letterkenny, and now Shoresy. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are many other podcasts about Letterkenny out there, but this one didn't write a joke for this line, so forget it. I'm Al, your host, and joining me in the room, as always, is a lovely Tanya, and online we have Squirrely Matt, the vicious Victor, and joining us this week, she is a fan of Animal Crossing, Letterkenny, teaching astrology, podcasts, and wine. She began her first full-time teaching. Oh wait, this is an old intro. She's been a teacher for a year, and still
One
agreed
job.
to. And,
Wow.
shut up.
One
Okay,
job.
I'm really fucking up tonight. She's our lucky charm, and she's a great gal. She's a really great gal. Join me making some noise for Eliza.
Wondrous.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wait.
Yes, we're on point tonight. Thank you, Aaron.
I regret nothing.
Oh man.
Woohoo.
At least you said her name right.
Yeah.
Do you mean astrology or astronomy?
astrology? Astrology.
I mean
Oh.
both, but
Tarot cards.
normally astrology.
Okay.
And you got the cards, right?
Anyway, Eliza, she's a fixture here. So you know what?
How are you now?
Tonight's lineup is Matt, Al, Victor, Tanya, and our guest Eliza will have the last word. Matt, save
I'm not
me
ready.
here.
I
How's your week?
I wasn't expecting to go first. I don't know.
See?
Thank you, Tanya.
Oh man, it's a good week. It's there's a lot going on, but I'm gonna focus on 2 things. So one, the fucking deck is almost done.
All right. We haven't seen a picture
I'm
of it
so
in a while.
fucking close. It's
I
it's
love a
lot more
good
work than
deck.
right? It's big too. It's
Oh,
got a good-
I would hammer a deck all day if I could. I've hammered
Hey,
a
now.
lot of decks.
It's
It's a lot of
Why?
fun.
It's a lot of
It's a
wood,
lot of
isn't
fun.
it? A lot of wood.
Dude, that's the part I didn't expect is how much wood I'd have
A
to
lot of
lay,
wood.
and it's
Laying.
taking a long time.
So
and I'm
it's
tired.
not erect yet.
No, it's so the biggest thing I underestimated.
It's all about
time
the
it was gonna-
foundation.
Yeah, I got the foundation down, but
Yeah.
I didn't. I underestimated how long does it take to lay the actual boards.
Yeah.
It's
And when
I'm
you measured from the bottom, not the top, right?
Now, what are you working with there, Matt? Are you working with some like
well, funny enough,
some
the
nail
boards,
guns? Like, are
I'm
you doing
using
the
5.5 inch boards?
There we go.
So it's convenient, but we're almost done. We'll have a deck by the weekend to play on and do our thing. So that was fun.
Very
The
exciting.
other thing,
Oh.
because I know we could do this all day. Okay, go ahead. One more.
I
Go
have
ahead.
one more question. Are you doing the railing for this deck, or are you buying the railings for the deck?
Are you railing or are you? Yeah.
Well, normally she does.
She lays the railing.
This is-
Gotcha.
Wow. This is
All
the
right.
one we're going to submit for award consideration. Okay.
So the other thing I wanted to, because I know we could do this all day.
Yes.
And Al, this is I need to look back on this one and thank Al for a lot of the stuff he's done for me. I don't know. So even if this pans out, so nothing's happened yet, but through a series of events, I've now been put in contact with a casting director at a voice or a studio company here in Toronto. And I'm going to be called in hopefully in the next little bit to do some auditions for some voice work.
Nice. Well done.
Oh, good
So-
job, Matt.
If they ask you to remove anything,
That is not a voice
So the
job.
couch, if they have a couch, I'm going to
Casting
be a little
couch.
nervous. I know, I get it, but you know what? I'm okay.
They ask if you can touch your toes. There's
man.
like red flag.
So it was kind of cool. I mean, it was sort of through a series of events, the work we've done here. I've helped out with a few things internally at our company with some voice work, met some new contacts in our marketing team who then kind of encouraged me to reach out and got me in contact with this other company who said, absolutely, come on over. So thank you, Al, for putting he put a little voiceover reel, including the Diabolical Coffee ad read. That went on there. And I made sure to highlight that one. I love it. I'm like, this is my favorite piece. But they got back to me and said, it's great stuff. We're probably going to have you come in soon to do some auditions for some things that are coming up. So
wow, that's amazing.
Buy and wait for us. So even if nothing comes of it, it's kind of a cool experience. And and it's been an exciting week. So it was a bit of a highlight, and that's all thanks to you, bud.
You know what? No thanks needed. Just 10% off the top is fine with me.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
That's amazing. That's great. I hope something comes of it.
Yeah, you'll be the first to know, my friend.
At the very least, I've had more than one person in our marketing team say we need to lure Matt over to our side. So who knows? I mean, there could be a career change in your future if you wanted. So
we'll see where the days ahead come. But you know me, I'm always open and fly by the seat of my pants. So.
Very good, very good. My week. Let's see. We had a great weekend. My cousin came over and his family, and we had a house full of people, and it was a lot of fun. Kids playing with each other, and we played some cards, and no, we didn't play cards. We played board games and stuff.
Oh, you went to the thingy.
What thingy?
The escape room.
Oh yeah, I did an escape room for the first time. Oh my God, that was so much fun.
Did you get out?
Yes, we got out. So this escape room, I think, had a 37% success rate, and we finished that bitch with 16 minutes to spare. So we killed it. Yeah, we were good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've only ever done one, and we didn't get out.
No. Well, it helped. My cousin's an engineer, and his son is a bit of a nerd, and so is my son. And so it was kind of like we killed it. It was awesome. And the only other thing, Tanya and I've started watching the show Hacks, and if you haven't seen that show, it's actually really, really good. Highly recommended. It's I don't know who the actors are in it, but it's a fun time. It's about a young female comedy writer who goes to work with an older established female comedian to help her write new jokes and to rejuvenate her career, whatever. Hijinks ensue. It's really well done and well acted and well written. So highly recommended if you haven't seen Hacks.
What network is that on?
It's on for us. It's on Crave. It's on Crave for us.
Crave. All right.
Yeah. Victor, how was your week?
It's been a good week. We had a pretty big get together in the office yesterday.
Oh,
yeah. So, and I don't remember what happened before that because it's already too long ago. But yeah, no, that was really fun. I met people I met like 30 people that for the first time since like in the last 2 years that I've been working with. So that was really neat. We went to Red's. It's a place kind of right in Adelaide, in the middle of downtown, right next to the Cactus Club. If you're familiar with that place. Yep. Anyway, yeah. So like the whole place was basically us in there. It was really nice, and we probably spent about 3 hours there. Just it wasn't a very productive day, but it was an important day. So.
Nice.
So, and then, a couple of friends, we went for beers afterwards too. So after work. So it was a nice day yesterday. So, it's good to just play sometimes where it's not over.
I like how you position that, Victor. It wasn't a very productive day, but it was an important day. And, you're so spot on with that.
You need some of those days. Yeah, for
sure. It's an investment. It's an investment, right? It's not about how much shit you get done. It's about, building those relationships and making people feel like, it's a cool place to work for. And we work with actually nice people, and it's not just head and shoulders,
Yeah. And that's the difference.
You're all human beings, right?
Yeah. And that's the difference between bad company and a good company.
Tanya knows lots about bad companies.
That's one of the difference. Sometimes it's smoke and mirrors, but other times this is just an extension of what's already happening. So, it was really good. So that was energizing and nice. Except unfortunately, I only have one member on my team who is in Los Angeles, and we couldn't fly him in for this event, so he kind of felt a bit excluded. But we're working on it. But aside from that, it was really good. And and just before getting on, I watched. So I love obviously May Day. because it's about airplanes and airplane disasters, and that's exciting. And usually 9 out of 10 times it's about everybody dies and all that kind of stuff. But this episode, they survived.
Oh.
Nobody was injured, and it was it's kind of like if you remember Sully the movie, where he lands in Queens or on that
in the river, in the Hudson River.
Hudson River, yeah. Except this time they were over the ocean, flying from Indonesia to Hong Kong, and both engines just stopped. They weren't starting up anyway, and so they thought they were going to have to ditch and land just like Sully did. But they realized if they were going to land in the ocean, it's not the same thing as landing in a river. That the thing would just break up.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, it's such an interesting episode because they landed safely. They landed like going twice the speed that they normally should, because the engine, when they got it started, but then they couldn't stop it, and they couldn't slow it down.
Oh wow!
So they landed at a speed that you normally take off at.
Holy shit.
So they stopped right before the end of the runway, where they would have ended up in the ocean anyway. But the investigation, where they find out exactly what happened, and it's such a convoluted thing. One thing leads to another, which is basically almost every episode. But this was such an interesting one. I love it. I just love how they investigate, and they come down, and and it's real life. It's not it's, people aren't making this stuff up. It's just incredible.
Excellent.
Anyway, so there you go.
Okay, cool. Before we move on, you reminded me of something else. Last week, I had the National Sales Conference for work, and I don't want to. So the big takeaway from that, we flew all of our salespeople into Toronto, had a really big gala and stuff like that. A lot of fun.
Speaking of planes,
and we had Chris Hadfield as our keynote speaker. So I think he's been making the rounds, because I think a lot of different companies have had him. And wow,
we had him. We had him at our So,
what a speaker!
That's really cool.
He's got sloppy seconds.
What an inspirational story, though. I don't care. Like
but he's a great speaker, right?
Yeah, farm boy from Sarnia, Ontario, becomes the commander of the International Space Station. Amazing. Tim?
And plays the guitar. What else can?
And he played for us. Yeah, he played the David Bowie song for us.
Yeah.
Tim?
That's a shtick. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I guess the planets are aligning because, it was a pretty good week. As Al mentioned, we had cousins over, and to their little 5-year-old, I am other mom. So that was always comical and fun. We had a lot of fun. The guys went to the escape room. The girls planned to go for a painting pottery, and we had a blast. And it was just a phenomenal weekend. We had a bonfire, and we just hung out and played some silly games, and had a lot of fun. And then the week just continued. Beautiful weather. We went on a date. We went to a patio and kicked it a little bit on a lunch hour. It was so much fun. It was really good. And just getting a lot of things done. I feel like I'm energized this week, and getting a lot of things ticked off the checklist that just keep on accumulating. And it's been pretty proactive and really good that way. Oh, and I looked into Toastmasters, and I'm gonna loop myself into that, because here we come. Like I'm just feeling energized, as I said. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And we're get the kids signed up for different things, swimming lessons. Matt, I know your young one is in swimming right now, and you sparked that in my head. So I got our youngest involved in that, and just as I said, checking things off the list. So it's always good.
Nice. Yeah. That's
awesome.
Great.
Now, Eliza, you're making me hungry watching you, whatever. I don't know what you're eating, but, and you're
Let's
on mute.
play the game. What's Eliza?
You're on
eating?
mute. Well, she said something about
what's in your mouth.
She had a slow cooked roast.
Oh dear. Slow down. Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking that was a nugget.
Slow down.
Like a chicken nugget? And blow on it first.
Slow down.
Dear. Oh, dear. The night is just going to roll that way.
Eliza,
I don't want her to burn herself like last time.
Slow down?
Eliza, how's your week been? Or how have you been since the last time we saw you?
Okay, this past week, I thought I had COVID.
Oh, no.
So I took like 4 rapid tests. They were all negative.
Good.
And I also took a PCR test with my doctor, and it was also negative.
Oh,
so
Did you take a pregnancy test?
Next logical step.
Yeah.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, so I don't have COVID. I'm so glad. And today I felt way better, so I was finally back at work. But I also had like 4 positive cases in my class at the same time.
Oh man.
So I was really stressed. I really thought I had it. Like I had a bad cough. Like I was not feeling well. Like I was sure I had COVID, but I didn't. So
It's like one of those games, eh? It's like, okay, is that a symptom? Is that it? Do I have it
You
this
didn't have
time?
COVID.
You haven't had it before either, have you?
no.
Yeah, so you're playing the same game I am. It's like, well, I don't know. Is that it?
I just assume I've had it.
You don't have it, but you're just sick. So that's the good news, right? You're just sick.
Which, yeah, like right now.
Is that good news? I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, honestly it is because I have 40 students.
40.
So the fact, yeah, because I have 2 classes.
Right.
Oh my.
okay.
And so because of that, like me,
You were worried you were going to be.
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you've also, I mean, I've seen, I follow you on Instagram. You've been to concerts and stuff. I mean, you're not really being careful, but,
Oh my. Mr.
Live your
Judgy
life,
over
Eliza.
here.
No,
that
I'm not
just was in
judging.
a
I'm-
room with
That sounded
350
judgy.
people. Yeah, it really was, right?
I'm just saying
Almost
how
deserving.
great it's been.
Yeah, I know, right?
How
Where's
great it is
mine?
that you're
I'm
not-
going to give him that.
You haven't gotten COVID.
Cover the
despite-
guy who's delivering concerts these days.
Oh my.
Anyway, I don't feel like this group needs a coffee, but I think we need to hear from our
But
sponsor.
we have to, Eliza, were you finished?
I mean, pretty much.
I don't think she started.
Yeah.
I have a week left of school, and then after that, I'm just free for a few months.
Oh,
So
so
I'm just chilling
nice.
right now.
Chilling
What
like
do you
a
have
villain.
planned?
Nothing, and I'm
Nothing.
so glad.
Oh, very nice.
How does that feel? Yeah. Having nothing.
So
planned.
Very
good.
nice. Just a lot of that farm. Or
Mhm.
no, you don't play farm. You play what?
Farmville.
Animal Crossing.
Farm.
Or Animal Crossing.
Crossing. That's it.
And I
Farm.
myself a second.
I play the farm.
So I
Wait,
have
is there
two
even a
switches
game
now.
called Farm?
Heyday. And my daughter got
So
me
no, the
addicted
answer
to
is
it.
no, Victor.
It's not called farm. But I feel like I work on a farm. If that's
There's a game called Farm Simulator, so you may want to try
Oh
that.
my God. No, it's probably just driving around in a tractor, listening to the
That's what it
chicken
is.
dance. Eliza, sorry. What were you about to say? You were about to say something.
Oh, I was just saying how I bought a second Switch,
Mhm.
and
Oh.
I own 2 Switch lights, so I can have 2 Animal Crossing islands.
Wait, why?
Wait,
So I
you need
want
a
two
whole, you need a
islands.
second one?
Yeah, because I finished my first one. And I don't want to demolish it.
so
Oh.
there's like an end?
Can't you just set up a second account on the
No,
first?
they don't let you on your Switch. It's
This feels
one
wrong.
island per Switch.
Oh, they need to expand on that. You need to write somebody.
This feels flawed.
Okay,
This-
so many people have wrote to them. They won't change it because they're going to make money.
Oh,
Hook, line, and sinker.
There you
So
wow.
I already bought 2 Switches. I have 2.
You're enabling them.
You're
You are
enabling
enabling them.
You're part of the problem,
go.
Eliza.
Nintendo
You're
doesn't care.
right, but I want to play, so I don't care.
Yeah, Nintendo doesn't care. All right, cool. Let's listen to a word from our sponsor now, and from Victor.
Hey there. Wait, what are we doing again?
The sponsor read.
Oh, okay. Wait, we have a sponsor?
Yes, it's Eric.
Oh, I know Eric. He's a good guy.
I know.
Did you know he sells coffee?
Yes, of course
I think it's called Diabolical coffee.
Can we just...
It's devilishly good coffee.
You don't say.
He also sells diabolically awesome swag.
Terrific.
He's got a roast for all tastes.
Is that right?
Yeah, you can order whole bean, coarse, standard grind, and espresso.
It's espresso, but whatever.
Hey, don't you and Tanya use K-Cups?
You know we do.
I think he has those too.
Wonderful.
Imagine if we could use promo code like Produce Stand to get 10% off coffee or merch from his store.
Yes, that would be cool.
Wait a minute. I just had a brilliant idea.
What's that?
We should get Diabolical Coffee to sponsor the podcast.
We should.
Yes. Why have we never thought of that before?
I give up. Thank you, Eric and
That's so
Diabolical
good.
Coffee, for your support. Casey in the live stream says, this made me love Victor. I mean, I liked him before, but now. Speaking of support, welcome new Twitter followers. Christian McLean from Bolivar, Pennsylvania. The K is silent from Utah. Lord Gearick from Crystal Beach. Gary Walgren from Fort St. John, BC. Dalton Cannon Fodder from Melbourne, Victoria. Bernie Lady from Seattle, Washington. Tyler Hedman from London, Ontario. Emily Lynn from Ohio. A Pale Rider. Alexander Lapierre. Kelly Hendricks from Chalmette, Louisiana. Roger Horton from Pittsburgh, Kansas. Andrea Williams from Littleton, Colorado. Connor Paola. Ryan from Baldy One Kenobi. Sherry Brown from Canada. Douglas Fisher from Southern New Hampshire. Johnny Brezenik from Arkansas. Co Van. Bourbon and comic books from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Bobby Buckeye Benny from Tennessee. Dallas from Austin, Texas. Pods Like Us. Mary Jo Brito. Derek Collin from Milpitas, California. Adam Patrick from Michigan. At the Mad Biscuit. Johnny on the Spot from Oklahoma. Hipster Horcrux from Oakland. Rachel Wellens from Raleigh, North Carolina. Patrick Ross. Danny Brown from Muskoka. Bobby Grump from Sydney, Ohio. Steve Westcott from Mansfield, Texas. Debatable Podcast from Buffalo. Alarm Not Alert. Mark Pilkenroth from LA. Walt 6812 from Planet Earth. Toronto Dropped the Leads from Toronto. Unfortunately nicknamed Guppy from Hoover, Alabama. Emergency Brat Hologram from LA. Darf Scarf. Manny Garski from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Christine Dawes. Meme Dependent. Mark Sullivan from Boston. Rod Williamson from Ottawa. And Tess O'Neill from Ludington, Michigan. Thank you for following and hopefully for listening.
Previously on Letterkenny.
Last week we reviewed the series premiere of Shoresy, Never Lose Again. That episode got a fresh rating from Tanya, Robbie, Matt, and myself, and a clearance from Victor. This week we recap and review episode 2 of Shoresy, Veteran Presence. Matt, have you done your homework?
Of course.
I've done my homework. Victor, have you done your homework?
It is.
Tanya, have you done your homework?
Once.
Eliza, have you done your homework?
Of course.
All right, then.
Well, don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
We open in a recording studio with a rapper named Dolo, played by Jonathan Ismail Diaby. This is his first acting credit, but he's an interesting story. He's a former hockey player, drafted 64th overall by the Nashville Predators in 2013, played in 4 different semi-pro leagues, QMHL, AHL, ECHL, before retiring in 2019 after an incident involving fans at a game hurling racist insults at him and his family in the stands. Diaby served his penalty, then left the game with his family. The fans were not.
So is that we're going to get? So
we're going to get to that. So the fans were not ejected. The league later apologized and adjusted their rules. But yeah, so he kind of, I don't know if he retired right after that game, but he retired shortly. He retired that season. So
wow,
yeah. Anyway, back to this.
You're describing his backstory in the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
keep that in mind. Anyway, back to Shoresy. Diaby is also a hip hop artist in real life, going by the name of Joe Dolo. And his name in the show is Dolo. And the song he performs in the cold open is one of his songs called Feel Blessed. So the song rolls right into the title and the cold open ends. So as far as cold opens go, it's a pretty short one.
I'm sorry. Can we recap already? So his name his real name is?
His real name is Jonathan Ismail Diaby. Okay. But he goes by Dolo, and his rapper name is Joe Dolo, sorry.
Is his rapper name.
Yeah. But on the show, he goes by Dolo. And everything, his background, everything in his real life is his background also in Shoresy. So he's
essentially playing himself.
He's essentially kind of playing a version of himself on the show. Yeah.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's some layers.
Except for the character traits, likely.
Yeah, well, we'll see. And he, I mean, and so for example, yeah, he only speaks French on the show, but he's
except once,
except once, and we will get to that as well. But for now, he does speak English. Obviously, he raps perfectly in English. So, I mean, what did you think of this cold? I mean, I don't know if you want to call it a cold open, but this intro to Dolo, Matt.
I mean, I don't know if I fully call it a cold open, but I guess it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's set the stage for more to come. I actually appreciate all that background. I knew you would do this, and I was looking forward to hearing I've actually watched this episode like 3 times now.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that again today, rewatching, and how I'm looking forward to what you're going to bring to fill in the blanks on some of these.
There's a lot of blanks in this one.
And I know there is, and I'm looking forward to your recap on all this, because I know you're going to be answering a lot of questions I have. But I love that. Which, I mean, I know we'll get to it later too, but I'm assuming that means that's real footage of that fight later.
That's
in the
real
episode.
footage of a fight he had with a fan in the audience from a different night, from a different game.
So that explains.
Not the same night.
So the night that he I'll explain. Okay, I'll explain it now. So in a couple
Don't blow your load.
On a couple of occasions, he was at a game. He was in a penalty box. His father and his father's girlfriend were in the crowd, and fans were yelling racist insults at them and intimidating them. And he didn't go into the crowd to fight them. They just left. Like as soon as he served his penalty, he walked off the ice and left. And the cops kind of like tried to keep things calm, but they didn't eject the people doing it because they hadn't done anything against the rules to that point. They hadn't gotten violent or anything. They were just being assholes. They're being racist pieces of shit. So that's why later on the league apologized to him and his dad and his dad's girlfriend, and also made a rule that says, and the team tried to find out who they were to ban them from ever coming to games again. There was like TV coverage of all that and stuff. But then the footage we'll see later, I believe is from it's real footage from a separate incident where again, he was in the penalty box and a fan got drunk, started like hurling insults at him, and he tried to go over the glass or something like that.
Fucking unreal, man.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
So all that to say, I like it was an intro. I think it's one of the first samples of this series where they're showing different stylistic approaches to things. And I like that. Like they do it more. This episode, they do a bunch of this, where they step away from just what's in front of you and give you excerpts of things that are around to support their stories. So I liked it. I thought it was a great way to introduce him and set the stage for what was to come. Yeah.
I enjoyed it too. First of all, it was a pretty cool track. I looked it up and we may hear it again later. I really like, and we'll learn this later. Like they basically grabbed a bunch of amateurs. Like these guys are not actors. So that's a big kind of a risk that Kiso and producers were taking by doing this, because these guys aren't actors to varying degrees. And in some cases, they are playing altered versions of themselves. Not all of them, but we'll learn which ones are as we go through these. But Dolo for sure is basically playing himself with just probably some character differences. But I enjoyed the opening. It was fine. It set the tone. I feel like Shoresy's such a different show from Letterkenny anyway. They're not going for the jokes. So the cold opens are going to be different. They're going to be more story. Or this one here kind of gave me more of a vibe of the Lady C episode in Letterkenny season 10, where they have a friend who's got this great talent and they wanted to kind of showcase the friend. And because Dolo has a couple of tracks on this episode and probably is featured throughout. Who knows? I haven't looked, but I'm sure he's featured throughout. Victor, what do you think?
Yeah, except Lady C is still tormenting Matt in his nightmares, but this one was nice, short, and sweet. So I think that it's interesting, right? Because it's so far kind of keeping us on our toes. Because the first episode had a really long cold open, almost like a little mini segment, if you will, and this one is just like a little short clip to introduce what would likely be a character on the episode. So I thought it was good. It was there's really not much more to say about it. Just introduce the character, introduce his music, and pitter patter.
So I thought the same thing. I wasn't entirely sure what was happening, whether there was a story in the rap that we were supposed to pay attention to that was going to then link back in somehow to the episode. So I wasn't entirely sure how to take that information. But yeah, I thought it was fine. Like, it was good. The song was good. I wasn't entirely sure whether that was the cold open or if we were going to get like another snippet of a cold open before we fall into the show. So it was different. But kind of similar to how Letterkenny kind of rolls. So it will be interesting to see if this kind of happens again in Shoresy. Eliza?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I was actually just texting that I need to go because it's raining on my balcony and I need to go move a bunch of plants out of the
All right.
It's Oregon, we think it's summer, so we move our plants out, and then it's not summer.
And then
we
it's
gotta
not
move our plants back in.
All right. So you're going to skip out for a little bit?
That's an interesting take on the cold open.
I really, honestly, like the cold open. It was good. Like, I feel like the Letterkenny cold opens were more memorable.
That's fair. I mean, again, I think they're different shows, right? So
exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like I just need to get more into Shoresy before I can like really give them credit for their like cold open.
Yes. All right. That's fair.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go, guys, because I need to go move my plants and water them and make sure they're okay. So
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go, guys. But thank you guys so much for tonight.
Are you going to pop back on?
I hope so, but if I don't, I'm just gonna say bye now, just in case.
All right.
All right. Good seeing you, friend.
All right.
I'm sorry, guys. There's a lot of rain out there. So
All right. Go take care of you.
Yeah,
Be safe.
Yeah. If we're still on, come back so you can give us your ratings. All right.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Okay, bye.
So coming out of the cold open, we get to start on scene one. We open with Shoresy and Sanguinette in Nat's office. Zieg and Meeg are also there. Shoresy and Sanguinette are going over their plan for never losing again.
Can we go in order?
What order?
The order of the plan.
What plan?
The plan you asked for.
They sent us over a PDF file of the sluts they want to bring on.
No, we didn't.
Sluts?
You.
Who?
Hockey players. Sluts.
Why do they have a GPS file?
What?
Well, we put everything in the duotangs. What happened to handing out the duotangs?
Duotangs?
You asked for a plan.
Yeah, so then we put the plan in the duotangs. We were going to give you each a duotang.
Of the plan.
So then why do they have a PBS file?
We were.
PBS.
I took Megon out for Sandos to kind of clear the air after the Party Island squeezer.
Nobody cares about the squeezer, Sanguinette.
And I had the doc of the plan on my phone to print off and put in the duotangs, so I just sent it to them as a PDF.
A what?
After a bunch of jabbing back and forth, Shoresy and Sanger are finally invited to sit down and deliver their plan. They pass out the duotangs. First up is Shoresy's buddy, Goodie, or Brant Goodleaf. Shoresy starts telling them about Goodie, and Zieg starts laughing and making fun of Shoresy's presentation skills, causing him to stand up and begin to leave. Nat warns him that if he leaves, she folds the team so fast. Shoresy protests his treatment. But Nat reprimands him, and Zieg asks Shoresy to continue his presentation.
Can you score?
Led the league.
Which league?
The show.
You played in the NHL?
The other one.
Which?
Lacrosse. Doesn't play hockey anymore.
Just making sure we're all hearing that.
Well, he played junior A growing up in hockey, and they wanted him to play pro. But it's just, in lacrosse, they wanted him to play in the show.
I broke bank for a guy who doesn't even play anymore?
You broke bank for 4 guys who don't play anymore.
I'm gonna fucking kick you, dude.
For what?
You fucking basic.
Well, they're all studs. I wouldn't bring them in if they weren't studs.
All right. I have to mention in the chat, Eliza left. She's just, her window's still there.
Herself completely
But
there.
she's so young. Oh my God. In the chat, she asked, what's a duotang?
In her defense, I can't remember the last time I heard the word duotang.
It's been a while.
Really?
I know. But still.
Our kids still have duotangs?
Yeah, maybe they call them something
But
different.
did you force them upon them?
You call them
No,
duotang.
the school gave them duotangs for each subject.
She says in her
Stop
defense,
saying
she's
duotang.
25. Okay.
But she's a teacher. That's not right. That's
Nobody
not
says
right.
duotang.
What do you call it then?
Well, they're
A binder.
Folders.
No, that's a different thing.
yeah.
No,
they're
binder's
Wait,
bigger.
what's the difference between a duotang and a binder?
A binder has the
No.
metal rings that
Yeah.
keep
Right.
a whole bunch
Yeah.
The duotang just has the metal clip.
The
The
that
clips,
flaps.
the
Do
they
little
make those
butterflies.
things?
the butterfly clip.
Oh, they still make those?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I got some here if you need a visual.
We have far too many
So,
here.
Eliza, duotang is a thing that when we went to school, used to carry pieces of paper around in, especially when you need to isolate assignments and things like that.
There you go.
We didn't use computers.
So it's just so it's just a binder.
No,
Eliza,
it's a thinner binder.
No, it holds like 25 papers.
Yeah,
it's a thin binder just for a few. Yeah, kind of like a folder.
No, not
but
a folder. No, folder's a thing too.
It's almost like a file folder.
Oh my God, I'm going to show.
Okay. Oh man, we're gonna have a demonstration. Anyway, while Tanya grabs
For someone who left the show, she's got a lot.
I know,
to
right?
say.
What the hell? She needs to see. Anyway, as Tanya gets a duotang out, if she finds one, I'll be. Oh, she found one. Okay. Shoresy. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this is great.
It's a yellow duotang.
This is great podcasting. So it's a folder. It's paper. But look, then these metal clips
Vanna
here.
White, show us.
These metal clips here fold. They come out.
I feel like there's another name for that.
No, a duotang.
Duotang, I think, is a brand name, and they keep the
it's like
paper in
it's
place.
like a Kleenex. It's not a Kleenex.
I can't
It's
believe
a tissue.
A trapper
Envelope.
keeper?
No,
No,
it's
those are
not an
different. Those
envelope.
are different. Trapper keepers are different.
Trapper keeper.
Anyway,
It's a foot bag, not a hacky sack.
we're gonna move on. we showed the young one what a duotang looks like, even though she refuses to come back on the camera.
And she's a teacher.
Yeah, and she's a teacher.
She should really know what a duotang
Well,
is.
she's a 25-year-old teacher. Just okay.
Shaping the minds of tomorrow.
Shoresy.
With her astrology when she's trying to teach astronomy.
Well, in her defense, like, is she going to teach them what an abacus is? You know, like, they don't need that stuff
It's
anymore.
called a portfolio now, Jason says.
Portfolio.
Portfolio.
God damn it. Nobody says duotang. It's a portfolio.
Same thing.
All right.
Portfolio duotang.
I think it's a
Eliza's
brand name.
back. Hi, Eliza.
Hi, guys.
And I'm wondering, maybe it was only in Canada we call them duotangs. Who knows? We'll have to find
Maybe
out
it's a
from
Canada
the peanut gallery whether they were called that outside of Canada.
3-ring pocket folder.
They say duotang is out of business. Okay, so I'm going to move on now.
I can't handle this conversation.
Shoresy defends himself. Everybody is already on a team. He had to find guys who weren't already on a team. So Shoresy assures Nat that they'll never lose again. Also, Goodie loves chicken. Zieg and Meeg failed to see the relevance of this comment. Production note. So Goodie is played by Andrew Ansonen. This is his first acting credit. He's a former semi-pro hockey player turned amateur MMA fighter. So, and his fighting nickname is the Cannon. So his MMA record is so far is 3-0-0. So he's 3 wins, 0 losses, and ties. And well, he hasn't fought since 2016, but that's
he retired.
That's his background.
He went undefeated.
So it's important to just go, go away, leaving wanting more.
Yeah, lose while you're ahead.
Yeah. Up next is Dolo. Shoresy introduces him as Jonathan Diaby from Blainville, Quebec, a 3rd-round pick to the show. All of this stuff are his real stats that Shoresy talks about. The hockey won the show, so the hockey one this time. He's a stay-at-home defenseman, awful to play against. Huge clapper, which is a slap shot, not what he calls his penis, as Zieg thought. But now Dolo raps. Nat sees one of his online videos, and it's a song called No Discussion. Nat asks how long it's been since he played. Sanguinet explains that he played in the Quebec Senior League a couple of years ago and made the news for losing his mind when he and his parents got called the N-word at a game. Miga asks what happened. The player who called him that, what happened to the player who called him that, and Shoresy corrects him. No one on the ice was dumb enough to fuck with Dolo. It was a drunk fan that they cut to actual footage of Diaby throwing punches at a fan over the penalty box glass. So as I was saying before, that footage isn't the same game where he left because of the racist insults. So I think they've conflated 2 different episodes in one. Because from what I saw, the footage of him of when he walked out of the game, I think he's wearing a different jersey, even like he's not playing in the same team. Then the other one where he's over the glass, he's playing for a different team. So either way, like he was a victim of a lot of racism in hockey. So for those of you, who say that there's none of that up here in Canada, yeah, of course there is. And he's prime example of that stuff. Zieg's impressed and a little turned on. Shoresy tells her she'd better speak French because that's all he'll speak to her. And production note, obviously most of the facts about Dolo's career are actually true of the actor himself, but he doesn't only speak French, he also speaks English. So up next is Shoresy's buddy Hitch from Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. It's kind of funny because if you say his full name, Ted Hitchcock, it sounds like 10-inch cock. Hitch is a former first-round pick on the show. Hitch loves martinis. He calls them martoonies. So it's good to always have a bottle of gin on hand. He's from Newfoundland, so it's kind of tough to understand what he's saying.
Newfie talk?
You ever been to Newfoundland?
No.
You wouldn't call them Newfies if you had.
So production note, Hitch is played by Terry Ryan. He's a Canadian actor and crew member on a number of Canadian shows, including Hudson and Rex, Little Dog, Letterkenny, Frontier, and Republic of Doyle as a production assistant. Ryan's was also a professional hockey player for 7 years, drafted 8th overall in 95 by the Montreal Canadiens, but he only played 8 games in the show over 3 years. He retired in 2003. Then he went on to write a best-selling book called Tales of a First Round Nothing in 2007. Now he's trying his hand at stand-up comedy. He opened for Jerry D in 2016, and he also hosts a hockey podcast called Tales with TR, which is...
I love this guy.
Yeah, this guy's like... So even like he's got acting chops, but he's also a personality. Like
he's like busy.
Yeah, I was listening to his podcast. He's pretty good. I mean, he doesn't have that thick Newfie accent, so he puts that on for the show.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. So let's last but not least is a tough pill to swallow for Shoresy to get down the gully because there's a bit of history there. It's Jean-Jacques Francois Jacques Jean, or JJ Frankie JJ. And if you don't remember him, here's a quick primer.
Played against him in the National Senior Championship.
And then?
Oh, is that it? Is that all
Nailed it.
Anyway, we get a montage.
The rest are visuals.
Yeah, we get it is. We get a montage of scenes of Shoresy playing for the Eagles against JJ Frankie JJ in the senior championship in Letterkenny. Shoresy is chirping JJ Frankie JJ relentlessly, and JJ isn't reacting much. Then we get the scene in the third period where JJ points to the scoreboard to show Shoresy who's winning, and Shoresy turns and delivers his two-hander to the back of JJ's knee, taking him and Shoresy himself out of the game and allowing the Eagles to come back and win the ship.
You Bobby Clarked him with a golf swing and he still answered your call?
Why?
He's a pretty big deal in Quebec. Like, he's dated pretty much every Quebecois starlet there is.
French girls.
Frankie loves them ladies.
I asked why he's coming here.
Because there's an impossible amount of good-looking girls in Sudbury.
Nat is pleased. It sounds like bums in seats. Me guess when they arrive. Sanger says they're on the plane. They're on the same flight from Toronto. Nat invites him to a mixer at her place when they arrive. So production note, JJ Frankie JJ, played by Max Bouffard. He was on Letterkenny and Shoresy. He's also got a short film credit, so he doesn't have a lot of acting experience either. And then a few other shows as a crew member. He's also a former hockey goalie. He played for the Manitoulin Islanders in the NOJHL, Northern Ontario Junior Hockey League, same league as the Sioux Eagles. And then 1 year in the OJHL, the Ontario Junior Hockey League, for the Lindsay Muskies. So big guy. Obviously, he's a goalie with his size. So that's JJ. Scene 2. That was all scene 1.
Wowza.
Scene 2, Shoresy and Sanger wait outside for the arrival of the 4 new members of the Bulldogs. They all pile into Sanger's Jeep. It's a little snug. Scene 3, Shoresy, Sanger, and the 4 new players arrive. We need a nickname for the 4 players. Maybe just call them the Sluts. Shoresy, Sanger, and the Sluts arrive at Shoresy's apartment, and Shoresy lays down the ground rules.
Cecil, it's like I said, obviously, there's only one rule. It's don't touch the bird.
Birds are unreal. C'est quoi son petit nom?
Big Sexy.
I never seen one so pretty as death.
Yeah, he'll talk a wee bit too, eh, Big Sex? Cecil, it's like I said, obviously, I got 2 beds. My bed, then another bed, then there's the couch, so gonna have to double up.
Hold a pole or hold a hole, boys.
Yeah, let's make sure no one's waking up to the other guy sleeping pole to hole or anything like that.
No,
it's like, won't be me. Won't be me. I'd never do anything like that.
Forget it.
Oh, my no.
Yeah, we've established that, Frankie.
Je pense que Frankie devrait prendre la couch parce que...
Oh yeah, Frankie on the couch since he's such a fucking potato.
Quoi?
I love Big Sexy. Shoresy decides he'll bunk with Goodie since Dolo and Hitch are going to be defense partners. Hitch and Dolo quickly bond over martinis and cognac. JJ gets the couch since he's such a fucking potato. Shoresy informs him that they've got a ton of ice cream in the fridge. Sanguinet got drumsticks. Goodie loves a good stick. Sticks are unbelievable. Once they're settled, They'll go to the mingler at the GM's place, but first they're going to have a quick stick before they go where they're to. Scene 4. Cut to Shoresy in the kitchen where Shoresy with the hockey players in the kitchen. They're all having sticks over bowls.
That's one of the better sticks I've ever had.
Fuck. Forgot to call me parents.
Did you not call your parents?
Settle down.
Mom's gonna be right rotted.
Did none of us not call your parents?
She's gonna be right crooked, she is.
So, like, you took an airplane and then didn't call your parents to say you got here safe?
T'as about a knack.
Calisse. J'allais attendre que ma mère finisse de travailler, mais je vais faire ça là.
Well, you better call them. Let them know you got here safe. I don't know. They must be big shots taking airplanes every day of the week or something, getting here not calling their parents. No, they got here 2 hours ago. They still didn't call their parents. And I'm so dumb.
All right, I got to stop here because there's so much here that I love. I love this scene. First of all, who do you think Shoresy was talking to on the phone? Any ideas, Matt?
Katie. Oh, sorry.
Katie.
You said Matt.
Oh.
Who is Shoresy talking to on the phone?
I figured it was his. Oh, so is it? Well, I'm guessing one of his parents is what I assumed.
It's possible. I don't know. We haven't. Yeah. Sure. What do you think, Victor?
Like his dad.
What do you think, Victor?
Oh man, it's a good question. I have no idea. It would have to be somebody that has a genuine, honest relationship with, and so hey, it could be Wayne.
I don't know.
Because they had that moment.
That one moment where he doesn't even say a word to him. Tanya, do you have?
Are you asking because you know the future?
I don't know who. Like, I have an idea of who it might be, but I don't.
You're asking like you do know.
No, I don't.
You don't know.
No.
Who do you think it is?
I think it was Matt. I think it was Nat. I think he was talking to Nat.
I was thinking it was Nat.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Matt.
Nat.
He did say Matt, and then he changed it to Nat. I was thinking that, or mom, just like Matt was saying.
Yeah, I love how indignant. Well, first of all, I love.
There was a moment though where he did remind me of Wayne, not Shoresy, when he did that.
Yeah.
Because his delivery on it was very like it was very Wayne-like. Yeah. And it wasn't.
It was human.
Yeah.
Well, so you feel like Wayne is more of a human character than Shoresy is?
No, but I think they both get passionate about very specific things.
Or fixated on.
Yeah.
Wayne has empathy, and we're only discovering that Shoresy has empathy.
Oh, okay.
I think the way that Wayne gets fixated on something and that it bothers him, and that was just kind of, it was Shoresy's thing that it was like, well, they must take planes every day. Like, why would these guys just be like not calling their moms?
Yeah.
And that he was so like affected by it.
Yeah, it's like,
that's what made it.
You didn't call your mom. You've been here for 2 hours after a flight.
I loved it though.
Yeah,
I loved because that's a human trait. Is just like you always check in with whoever you've left wherever you were, right?
Well, and we're learning very quickly about Shoresy. I mean, yes, he's an asshole, but he's very like hyper personal about some things. Like I think even Robbie was calling out last episode about how passionate he's about hockey. We all know that, but like when he like got all disturbed by the idea of folding, he's like, whoa, like he really hones in on certain topics, and family might be one of those things.
Yeah.
Eliza, you had something? You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Come on,
God
Eliza.
Damn it, Eliza.
Okay, so this scene really like reminded me of my childhood because I always had to tell my mom where I was going. And like at the time, we honestly didn't have a phone at home. And so she had a whistle, and we had like a pattern where we could hear the whistle from the park that we lived next to because we were so close. And so, but no, it's just like you go somewhere without telling your mom. Like that's a big deal. Like you're getting ashamed for that. Like so, like I really identified that from like when I was growing up, because if I didn't tell my mom where I was going, like it would be such a big deal. And if I didn't tell her, like when I got to my friend's house, like I would have to come home. Like I would forfeit my sleepover that night.
Right. Who do you think Wayne was talking to on the phone?
Honestly, maybe Derry or
Derry.
I don't know.
Did I say Wayne? I'm saying, who do you think Shoresy was talking to? I think I might have said Wayne. I got to get that on my
I
head.
think you said Wayne. Nope. Shoresy's talking.
I think he's talking to
one
Nat.
of his teammates. Maybe I don't know.
I think he's calling Nat.
I don't think he and Nat are that close.
Well, Sanguinet was in the kitchen.
Oh, it could be Sanguinet.
He wasn't in the kitchen.
Yeah,
it was only the hockey guys.
Was Sanguinet not there?
No, he wasn't in there.
Oh, so
could have been Sanguinet.
So it could have been Sanguinet. Could have been Sanguinet. I think it was Nat. I think Nat was like, "Where are you
they're
guys?"
not
She's
that
waiting.
close yet.
She's waiting
They're
for
not
them to
that
get to her
close
place
yet.
for
They are.
the mingler. Anyway, we'll find out. Anyway, I love the little touch of all of them eating their drumsticks over bowls. Like that's
it's the only way to do it.
No, it isn't.
That's how I do it.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I never used a bowl. I've only ever seen.
You're an animal.
Why?
Yeah. Victor, I agree with you full-heartedly.
The cone will always fall. And what if you're one of those slow eaters and you don't know how to lick properly? And
you're such an amateur if you need a bowl. If you need a bowl,
that's not a you problem. That's a you problem. That's your floor's problem.
If you're gonna eat a stick,
I've never dropped a nut.
You gotta have nuts on the stick.
You have a nut holder.
I never dropped a nut. Anyway.
No, I'm with Victor. Totally throw a bowl under it, and then you can get the nuts after.
The point of the cone if you
and
know
then
the
like
bowl.
scoop up.
I'm with you, Matt. Anyway,
listen, okay, this is what this is what it comes down to. All right, when you're eating a cone and you're trying and you don't want it to melt faster than you can eat it, then you're kind of rushing. You're getting to the point where you're not enjoying it anymore. You're kind of you're going against. You're trying to make sure you eat it fast enough so it doesn't melt. If you've got a bowl, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Victor, I find it hard to believe this is a problem for you. Coming from the guy who orders multiple desserts at dinner.
Right? I know.
There's a way to eat sticks, and a fella ought to know about it.
Anyway, we're going to move on. I just found it cute that they were all eating over bowls. To me, that's something a kid does.
I do that.
Or you do. I don't do that. I don't need a fucking bowl. I'm eating
and that's why our floors are dirty.
That's why you're a Neanderthal.
No. Anyway, moving on. Scene number 4 at the doghouse, where we finally meet Laura Moore. Shoresy walks in, pants a poor guy, and sits down with Laura and lays on the charm.
Let me just start by saying there is no other place I would rather be in the entire world than right here with you right now.
Hey, Shoresy.
Can't you see I'm just completely taken by it? Like, I've never known a feeling like this.
Let's assemble.
Why are we doing this here when we could be over at 7-Star Dumpling House? It's some fucking bibimbap.
How do they feel about never losing again?
How do you feel about it?
I don't care.
Oh, you are an absolute stallion.
You're a horse face.
I won't rest till I get even a shoulder pat from you.
That would be the most Amanda's got from me in a very long time, Shoresy.
Hey, you ever been sitting across from someone just trying to have a normal conversation, fighting every urge inside yourself to just scream out, yeah!
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I've never let myself be so vulnerable with someone before. It feels amazing.
You are alive, dude.
God, I'd be good to you.
Yeah?
Oh, I'd be good to you like crazy.
How good?
Like you wake up in the morning, I'm right there being good to you.
That's actually unsettling.
How do you feel about a couple steaks and some corn on the cob?
With your 4 roommates?
5.
Apologies to Big Sexy.
I'll honor you till the day I die, I swear to God.
From the guy infamous for wheeling 2 of his friends' moms in Letterkenny.
They aren't my friends, and their moms were wheeling me.
Text me the score after the game.
Are you not coming?
Huh? I got my kid this weekend.
Well, no one gets a good story from just a score.
And no one cares.
Sure. Kiso writes great dialogue between a man and a woman. This scene here is right up there with the scene in relationships with him and the first date. I love that scene, the quick back and forth, amazing dialogue, and I love this scene. Like, it's so well written and acted and shot. It's so perfect.
You might even argue that it evolved.
You think it's even better than relationships?
Yeah, I just feel like it's just so tight, spot on.
It is.
It's written perfectly.
It is. And the actress who plays Laura Moore, I mentioned her in the first, so I already did her bio. But yeah, wow. She's great. Laura leaves, and Shoresy joins the other hockey players outside in the crowded Jeep. He asks them if they like paninis, but then he's interrupted by his phone, which rings the Canadian national anthem. It's Nat.
We're almost there.
You're going to jail.
For what?
That's where our tough natives are.
Our tough natives are in jail?
Tough natives is redundant.
They work there, Shoresy.
Well, you made it sound like they were in jail.
That is so racist.
No, it isn't.
You see, that's the problem right there, is that your mind immediately goes to them being in jail.
It was a misunderstanding.
You're the problem. That's what's happening here, is that you're the problem.
Holy.
This is why I thought the person he's on the phone with earlier was Nat, because she seems to be getting updates from him. Like, where are you? They're waiting for her.
Sure.
Or she's waiting for him. So
yeah, but that previous conversation, they weren't like,
arguing
smashing on each other. Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's just a very different dichotomy there.
Scene 5, cut to a prison yard. The hockey players are sitting at one picnic table and 3 prison guards are at another picnic table. These are the same guys who were fighting outside Colson's in the previous episode. Shoresy is standing between the 2 tables, which are quite far apart, facing the prison guards. The framing of this scene just kind of reminds me of, Buttery again, and he loves his symmetry and stuff. It's really well framed. Shoresy introduces the hockey players, making sure he mentions the funny business about Hitch's nickname, or his name sounding like 10-inch cock. Then he asks the guards to introduce themselves.
Roll call. We ready? Yeah. Jim. 2 Jims. Jim. Are y'all 3 Jim? All right, well, you'll need nicknames. What are your last names?
We'd prefer to be called by our first names.
But then you're all 3 Jim.
Our names are Jim.
So y'all 3 want to be called Jim? But you see how we're a bit bunged up here, though, right? Like if Sanger calls down the bench, Jim, you're going, you won't know what Jim.
Jims will likely all be going at the same time.
Shut the fuck up, Sanguinet.
Maybe if he just says Jim a different way for each of the boys from where you're to, then they'll know which ones to come where you're at.
Did you just have a stroke, Hitch?
Sing them.
You were having a fucking brain hematoma.
Settle down. Jim.
Hitch, it's a hockey team. It's not fucking Miss Saigon.
Hitch just suggests Shoresy ask the Jims what they want to be called, but Shoresy doesn't have fucking 525,600 minutes.
All right, so y'all 3 want to be Jim.
Our names are Jim.
Yeah, I know your names are Jim, but okay, so how about your Jimmer, your Jimmy, your Jim Bob? Then you all get to be some version of Jim, and we don't got to be in fucking tats.
Our names are Jim.
Je pense que c'est pas mal clair qu'elle a annoncé Jim.
All right, you're all 3 Jim. That's it, that's all.
Who said that part?
What part?
That's Lobo.
The French part? Dolo.
Oh,
sorry, Dolo.
I thought, I figured it was, but I for some reason thought it came out of Shoresy because it happened like.
Yeah, it looked like he was saying it, but no, it's Dolo saying it. All right, here we go. Buckle in. Production note. Jim, played by John Morasti. This is his only acting credit. He's a retired.
I'm sorry, are we going from the right or from the left?
You'll have to figure it out.
Jimmer.
The first Jim, the second Jim, or the third Jim?
Jim.
Use your imagination.
As he clicks and points.
Jim.
First Jim?
Jim is played by John Morasti. This is his only acting credit. He's a retired Cree native Canadian hockey player. He played in a bunch of pro leagues such as KHL, CHL, AHL. So he played in Russia even. He's also a former boxer and a provincial Gold Gloves champ in 98 and 99 and currently an MMA fighter. I sense a bit of a pattern here. Then there's Jim. He's played by Brandon Nolan.
No, you have to do it.
Jim, played by Brandon Nolan. An Ojibwe actor with a couple of other acting credits besides Shoresy. Brandon was also a hockey player, drafted 72nd overall in 2001 by Victor's New Jersey Devils. But he only played a few games in the show for the Carolina Hurricanes in 2007, 2008. He's also the son of former NHL player and coach Ted Nolan. So interesting thing there.
Ted Nolan was blacklisted from the league for about 10 years.
For being an amazing coach. But right. Not playing by the rules. Yeah. So you wonder why. And then finally, there's Jim. He's played by Jordan Nolan.
Matt's taking a moment on that
one. Jordan Nolan is Brandon's brother. So he and Brandon are brothers. So they're both sons.
I'm sorry, who's Brandon?
Brandon was Jim number 2.
Jim number 2.
Brandon was Jim. And now we have Jim, played by Jordan Nolan.
Jim.
He's also a former hockey player, drafted by the LA Kings in the 7th round. Jordan has had the longest career in the show than any of the other cast members. He played 6 seasons with the Kings, won 2 cups with them, played 1 season in Buffalo, and his last season was in 2018, 2019 in St. Louis. Jordan is currently working for the Kings organization as a consultant. So there you go. Those are the 3 Jims.
I love they're beauties.
They are. They're great. And I love how, they do the taking turns saying something, but it's always the third Jim, Jordan Nolan, who has like a more eloquent line, at the end, kind of like Boomtown did, but a lot funnier, I think. Anyway, scene 6. We're finally at Nat's house for the Mingler. Nat and Meeg are in the kitchen discussing their new players. They're all the players are all outside on the patio around the grill. It's snowing. Meeg admits to finding Sanguinette cute. She asks if Nat is sweet on any of the players.
You don't get sweet on sluts, you just take them down.
Would you take any of them down?
I'd take down a caribou if it meant bums and seats.
I think the caribou would have to take you down.
Nat changes the subject. She says the players had better be talking about W's out there, but they're not. They're making fun of Goodie for saying he prefers popcorn chicken over popcorn shrimp. Goodie says that chicken's unbelievable. Back in the kitchen, the ladies are still discussing the logistics of taking down a caribou.
You know what I mean, though, and that the caribou would have to take you down?
Yep.
Like, a human man could take down a caribou, but a woman couldn't, because with the caribou's, like...
anatomy.
Yeah. The caribou...
Well, the caribou would have to do all the work.
And that changes the subject again. The guys had better be talking about hockey out there, but they're not.
Buzz, can we get in to go with the cheese for the burgers or what?
Sanger, that's some good-looking cuisine.
Mine are chicken burgers.
What, do you want to throw the singles on there now?
Settle down.
Like, you mean craft singles?
Ah oui, bro. Fromage crap.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to throw the singles on now.
Toi, t'as-tu déjà essayé de mettre du fromage râpé dans ton hamburger?
No, shredded cheese is kind of more for tacos, I think. What do you talk, like a little Italian blend?
Sanger, ever had gelato?
Maybe a little Tex-Mex?
Trop fancy, ça.
Yeah, it's a bit fancy, but...
You ever put singles on a taco, me son?
Well, that's a good way to ruin a taco, Hitch.
Toi?
One time out on the boat.
Look at Sanger with the singles here.
Might even double single them, boys.
Fucking 2 single Sanger here now.
Tacos are unbelievable.
Cut to the kitchen. The girls are talking about their next opponent, which is Timmins. Fucking Timmins, home of Shania Twain. Then we hear the first English words coming out of Dolo's mouth that weren't rapped when he says, "That don't impress me much." Then JJ brings up Celine Dion. Dolo agrees. She's still the one. Timmins has a bunch of fucking Dutchmen. This sends Shoresy off on a jag about Dutch players. We'll call this one the Miriam segment.
Dutch last names are so fucking long in Dutch, they barely fit on the backs of their sweaters. They look fucking ridiculous.
Klumpenhauer.
Blankenbiller.
De Baardeladen.
Schoengertner.
Van Zandermeulen.
Der Rentmeester.
Van Ben Schoten.
The Solent Burgerstad.
And of course...
the Appeldorns.
Dutchmen always have tons of kids so they can help with chores on the farm. So, Timmins has the 8 previously mentioned Dutchmen.
Klumpenhauer.
Blankenbiller.
De Baardeladen.
Schoengertner.
Van Zandermeulen.
Der Rentmeester.
Van Ben Schoten.
Solent Burgerstad.
And then the Appeldorns.
8 of them. Brothers.
Big fuck off Dutch farm boys.
Later on, after everyone's done eating, Shoresy is about to leave for work when Zieg walks in with the new team sweaters from their new sponsor.
The Sudbury Blueberry Festival has become a massive tourist draw since its genesis 35 years ago.
Blueberries are unbelievable.
They've generated a ton of dough, and they've graciously volunteered to help us pay for you sluts, so...
Fruit's unbelievable.
Blueberry Bulldogs?
Your new sweaters.
The Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs.
That's what's up.
We're the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs?
We get it, bud. You learned how to read.
That's fucking embarrassing.
My man, it's Sudbury.
Shut the fuck up, Sanguinette.
No, but you pronounce it Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs.
Doesn't fucking matter, it's a fruit. May as well be called the fucking Sudbury Banana Boat Bulldogs.
My man, just...
Fucking Sudbury Nectarine Neapolitan Mastiffs.
You ever had goji berries?
It was this or fold, fucker. Go to work.
Shoresy notices there isn't a C on his captain's jersey. He asks Zieg where the C is. Zieg responds with, what's the point? This almost makes Shoresy cry. He leaves the party raving that this news had better not be out there already or he's going to hear about it. Cut to scene 7, cut to Shoresy at work reffing the high schoolers, and apparently the word got out.
Hey, Shoresy, I'm looking to whip up a nice fruit cocktail for my sweetie. You got any blueberries?
Blueberry Bulldog sounds like a fruit snack, bud. Might as well be the Sudbury Sour Patch Kid.
If you need any hand-picking fruit, there's 8 Appeldorns coming to town tomorrow, and the Dutch know hard work.
Honestly, bud, the Sudbury Passion Fruits would sound tougher.
The Sudbury Honeydew Hounds. Take that championship pedigree straight to the Sioux and get pumped for another 19.
You ought to take the Sudbury Coconut Corgis out for a test drive.
Hey, look out, boys. Here come the Pink Lady Apple Pomeranians.
What do you think of the Sudbury Watermelon Westie Poos? That'll get them real fired up.
Where do I sign up for the Sudbury Avocado Australian Stumpy-tailed Cattle Dogs?
This is some very creative teenagers. The best part of that scene is that Shoresy just stands there and eats it.
That's so fucking embarrassing, Shoresy.
I know. Why do you think I'm eating it?
Embarrassing.
Hey, you know what's embarrassing, Cor?
Your mom started an OnlyFans to try to make me jealous, and I haven't laughed that hard since Liam's mom tried the same thing.
Fuck you, Shoresy.
Fuck you, Liam. Your mom made me a mix CD with only 3 bands on it. Moist, The Wailers, and Wet, Wet, Wet.
Fuck you, Shoresy.
Well, if you can dish it out, you can take it, boys. I give your mom so much wood, they call my dick beaver lumber.
Awesome. Production note.
Beaver Lumber.
Beaver Lumber.
Beaver Lumber
was a Canadian building supply chain of
Was it
stores.
ever?
It really was.
They began in 18...
Did you get your lumber there, Matt, from Beaver?
No, they don't exist anymore.
Beaver Lumber?
From Low.
Lowe's, yeah. So they began in 1883 in Wolseley, Saskatchewan. They were once Canada's number 4 largest building supply chain before we had Home Depots or Lowe's. We had Beaver Lumber. In 2000, they were bought up by Home Hardware. They've been rebranded as Home Building Centers. So yeah, there's no more Beaver Lumber, sadly.
Sad.
Scene 8, montage time. The hockey players hit Colson's after dinner at Nat's. This time it's Goodie who has his attention captured by the blonde on the dance floor. Same blonde as before. So production note, this time we have a name for said dancer. According to IMDb, this dancing girl's name is Alice. She's played by Carly Bulfon, and this is her first acting credit. She's a Sudbury native and perhaps one of the examples of the impossible amount of good-looking women in Sudbury. Anyway, back to the episode. Goodie and Alice are staring each other down from across the bar. Once again, our old buddy Phil, the recipient of Shoresy's last potty kiss, notices the crossbar flirtation and doesn't look happy. Phil walks up to Goodie. He's much larger than Goodie and he's got buddies. But then Goodie is joined by Hitch and Dolo. The 3 hockey players remove their fake teeth to reveal themselves as hockey players. Cut to the next scene where Phil and his buddies are lying unconscious on the floor with Goodie. Hitch and Dolo standing over them. Nat witnesses the entire scene and seems pleased that her new players are already acting like a team. Did you have something to say?
Now, was it to show that they're hockey players or was it because they're friggin' expensive to replace? And yeah, they want to pop them out before the fight.
It might be a little bit both because he's looking at... What's that?
They're just excited. They're like, these guys are ballers and they're ready to throw down anytime. And that's like, all right, let's go. Like, I don't think it was anything other than we're ready to go.
Yeah, I think it's a psych out move. You know,
you picked a fight with the wrong guys.
It's kind of like the equivalent of a black woman removing her earrings before fighting. You know? I'm ready to go.
Not sure that's PC, but okay.
I've seen it a bunch of times.
Hey, didn't that guy look like the Big Show?
A little bit, not quite as big, but he's been in a lot of stuff. I think I covered that in the previous episode.
Yeah. But it just his face, he just looks like the Big Show.
Yeah. Scene 9, the montage continues, but now we're behind Shoresy walking toward the ice for their first game together against Timmins. Shoresy walks past his new teammates to take the ice, and they join him, and we fade to black. All right, that's the episode. A lot of that was just giving background on the actors, but you guys get the gist. So Matt, we'll start with you. Your first impressions on this one.
Yeah, I think that's the deepest we've gone in any episode we've ever done before we've even gotten to the reviews. And I appreciate it. It was fun. I thought it was a great episode. There was so much going on. There was a couple things I'm gonna hammer right away. So the so or whatever he says.
So
I had no idea what the fuck he was saying. And I've watched this multiple times until I don't remember, someone on Twitter commented and you added to it. I'm like, I get it now. Now I hear it, but I couldn't hear it. I'm like, why? What the fuck does he keep saying? It was driving me crazy. Big Sexy.
I love Big Sexy.
Why does he have a parrot? I love that he has a parrot, but of all animals, it's that I could every time. I love it. I could hear that on repeat.
You do that really well.
If we do a table read for Shoresy, you've got to be Big Sexy because that was perfect. That was awesome.
It killed me, man. I'm like, that is so brilliant. But there's so good. I think they did a fantastic job of introducing these characters, right? Like right out of the gate, I think, like I said, it set the tone for the episode with Dolo showing where his background. I love that you filled in the blanks on these guys, especially the Dolo story. It's a fucked up story, but I'm so glad that they held him true. And I also feel like the point that you said a lot of these guys are basically playing versions of themselves probably made their shift into acting as a first credit a lot easier too. So they're like, just be you. And it worked out and paid in spades. I have to say the one guy I was most impressed with, and I don't remember all the credits you said. I don't think he had any. Was Goodie.
Yeah, Goodie is an MMA fighter and
MMA fighter, but from an acting perspective, I think he delivered, especially that bar scene. There's the looks that he's giving in there. I'm like, this guy's got chops. Don't fuck with him. I don't know. There's something about him I like a lot. And I'm excited to see.
I think Kiso's playing it safe, keeping their lines short. I mean, Goodie basically all he's doing is saying sticks are unbelievable, chickens unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like all that's all he's just saying.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But
settle down.
Yeah, and settle down. Those are like his two big lines.
Yeah.
Settle down.
But I enjoy the characters. I think that they bring a lot to the show.
Goody's unreal.
I gotta go techno for a second. This is where I know when we had Buttrey on, and he's talked about giving us different flavors. We're seeing some of that now. There's two particular shots in this show that really stood out to me. One was the where they call their moms. That scene. So let's first say that scene was brilliant. But there's that shot right into there where they're actually on the phone, and Shoresy's up in the forefront with sort of a profile shot, and they're all in the background.
It's a very kind of different look. Yeah.
I loved it. I as soon as that hit the screen, from a production standpoint, I got very happy, and I'm like, I just wanted that to carry out. The other one, which is now, and I will say across Letterkenny lore, is probably one of my favorite scenes ever, is the gym scene. That scene absolutely slayed.
In the prison yard? Yeah.
In the prison yard. From not even just the content, the positioning of the shot, I thought it was just it was just perfect symmetry and everything that was going on there. It made me happy. As soon as that one hit, I'm like, I could just watch this scene. And then you add the dialogue and Kiso's delivery of Shoresy with the little snaps and the banter. I wanted the gym scene to you could give me a whole episode of them just talking about that, and I probably would have been happy. So I applaud them on every goddamn level for that scene, because that was bloody brilliant. All right. And then there's some other things. Like, again, that was I have Duotang written on here because Eliza. I'm gonna skip over that. Because we've already slayed that one. And I don't want to take everything. The Laura Moore chat, amazing. I agree with what we talked about already. And the Blueberry Bulldogs. Come on. This, and I'll let you guys do your banter about this a bit more too. But what I loved about this is this crew's ability to never miss an opportunity, right? There's so much going on. But the little details are what really send these shows over the top, and their ability to say, hey, let's change the damn team name and have some fun with that has created a whole new layer of comedy in this 6-episode show. And I'm so glad they did it, and it paid off in spades. So no, all in all, this was just fun. And I can't wait to see what's next. So this was a blast.
Okay, I don't disagree. Some of my favorite things. Big Sexy. Of course, Shoresy's pet is a parrot. And of course, Shoresy spent time teaching his parrot how to say tit fucker. Of course, it makes so much sense. And
though the parrot could have taught him.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's possible. I love the interaction with him and the sluts. Big fan of Dolo. Throwing French in all the time, like it just between him and JJ, it kind of adds it adds a level of complexity though too if you're watching with subtitles on, because often the French fall behind the subtitles and then you don't get what they're saying. But it's great, and I like that dynamic.
And that Shoresy's fully bilingual, obviously.
Yeah, and Shoresy understands everything that. Yes. Kiso almost crying when there was no C on the sweater. Like, again, like the fact that he's willing to, like, Shoresy's gonna cry on at the drop of a dime. It's great. And the Laura Moore scene. I mean, that one there is a pantheon scene for me. Like between Shoresy and Letterkenny, if I were to list my top favorite scenes, that one goes right up to 1 or 1A between relationships. And this one, I don't know. I'd have to watch relationships again to see which one's better. But
so good.
It's so well written and acted, and just everything about it tight. Victor?
Yeah, we want more Laura for sure. But you know what? I'll say this. This is not a put down in any way on Letterkenny, because we love Letterkenny. This is the Letterkenny that I've been waiting for the last 11 years.
Okay.
Or 11 seasons. Because, you know, like I was saying, I thought when I first started watching Letterkenny, I thought it was a show about hockey in a small town. And it ended up being a show about Hicks and Hicks and freaks and all that kind of stuff. But so that's number one. Number two, the reason we've talked so much about this episode, I think more than any other episode in the Letterkenny universe, this has been the most complete, complex episode ever. I mean, there was so much going on there. It felt like almost like a 1 hour special, but in a good way, not because it dragged on, just because so much happened. There wasn't a single throwaway. Like, you know, a typical formula for most Letterkenny episodes is there's one main storyline and a couple of stragglers, maybe a couple of there's usually at least one just for no reason. Let's have, you know, like a little commercial break. There's none of that. Every scene, the whole thing was just a carefully constructed, just a beautiful canvas that there's everything on there just fit perfectly together, and it just continued to build and continued to uncover itself and introduce you to more of the characters. Every scene was brilliant. Like, yes, that scene in Shoresy's apartment. Oh my God, that was so beautiful. The layers of audio, the sound composition of that scene. It wasn't just the sound composition with the timing of Big Sexy chirping. Just the timing of it was so perfect. Like, it was controlled chaos.
And we're going from English to French and then
English
Big Sexy and
perfect. It was sound editing like at its best. And that's just one scene. Every scene, that scene that, you know, at the prison, that could have been like in the Fargo movie, like not like, you know, it was incredible. Like every scene in this episode from the beginning to the very end was just stellar. It was flawless. There was nothing that I would have said, hey, you guys, could have, upped your game here. It was perfect. The dialogue was perfect. The camera work was perfect. The sound was perfect. The acting was perfect, even though there are a bunch of nobody actors, though somebody, hockey players. But I don't know. It was just each character is so interesting. It's going to be interesting for the MVPs. Each character really brought their A game and had something. Like, we could go one by one talking about each character and what they brought to the episode, and there would be something interesting to say about each one. I thought this was unbelievable. Probably one of the best Letterkenny universe episodes ever. Easily in my top 5. Just brilliant.
Okay, but I'm going to put you down as undecided, Victor. Before we move on to Matt or to Tanya, just quick question to you, Matt, because you've said in the past how you don't always appreciate the montage scenes, and in this one here, the montage spans over 2 scenes, like the musical montage, slow motion. What did you think?
I loved it.
Yeah. Okay. There's enough storytelling in it to.
But that's the difference. I think and Letterkenny, we've talked before, that wasn't always story driven. So there was elements that connected, but there was a lot of just different independent pieces happening. Shoresy is setting the stage for a continuous story, so it made sense, and they didn't feel forced and over the top. So no, I think they were very well placed within this episode, because like Victor said, there's a ton of dialogue, a ton of content going on, very well written. They took a moment to sit back and just let the scene tell itself amongst all of this brilliance. I think it was perfect for how they used that dynamic. And the other quick point to that is, again, Victor, you just said these are newer actors, and Al, you commented as well. Giving them less dialogue actually allows them to shine in a space that they're not overly confident yet in. So if you give them too much, it could feel uncomfortable and it could feel forced, and but they're just letting them be themselves, and when you don't have to say anything and just do, it can come across well. So I think they're using them brilliantly early on and allowing them to build their acumen and their on-screen presence.
To me, the most naturally delivered dialogue by the sluts were the French lines by Dolo. Like I feel like
and what's interesting about the French thing, and this caught me right away. And anyone who may not know, obviously, or we know, Canada's bilingual country. There are two national languages, English and French. We're actually required by law to present a lot of content, especially written material, in both languages. It's just common with anything to do with marketing stuff. It's like it always has to be. So I feel like this with Shoresy, it's another example of them highlighting things that are truly Canadian.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't ask a French person to speak. I mean, we do, but like they're celebrating their heritage, their language, and say, you just speak your language, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then putting the Indigenous people very front and center of this episode as well. Very big. That we need more of, and I think they're really highlighting a few very Canadian things that exist right now, and in Shoresy, and I love it.
Excellent. 10.
Tic Tac.
Victor has
the ingredients on these Tic Tacs, which they sell in the States as well, are in English and French.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
If it's not, there is actually you can be fined huge if you release products and material in Canada.
It wouldn't be allowed to release. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
My turn.
Yeah.
All right. Why are you looking at my notes?
No, I was checking the stream chat.
Ah, gotcha. All right. So much to unpack. Holy Hannah. Victor is totally right. I agree with you full-heartedly. This feels like it's an hour. Like there was so much packed into the small episode that it was, that really to look at all the components of it. Holy, it's just so much to unpack. So where to begin? So I have to say, like A++, the dialogue, the banter, the conversations between each and every section of the episode was so on point. Like I found, when they were in the office and Nat and who was it? Was it Zeke or Meeg? I don't know who's
Depends
who.
what you want to say.
Yeah, Zeke was the one's always chirping at Shoresy.
Breaking at Shoresy's balls.
Yeah,
like
Zeke.
she was on him and kept him, I loved that part. I love how Nat and Shoresy interact with each other. I love how Shoresy and the sluts, I guess we're calling them, interact with each other. Shoresy and Laura, like so many wonderful lines. I'd be so good to you. Loved that line so much when he said that to her. The Newfie saying, come where you're at, and him saying, did you just have a stroke? Like, I loved those lines. They were just so wonderful. So a few things that I need to ask, and again, I know this isn't a safe place, but I need to ask them anyways, regardless of that.
Judgment-free zone, don't worry.
I wasn't quite totally sure what was happening. Are they building a new team? Or is this just like addition to what they already had?
They're adding to their existing team.
They already replaced one, right? Because
they had a team.
Michael's
they had a team. They got rid of the coach, but then they brought in how many people? 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people.
So some people probably got benched or got thrown out off the team. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not
they have a new coach.
Yeah.
This is what I didn't understand, and this is what I was going to ask Victor, because you are now like the star of the.
He's our SME. He's our subject matter expert.
You know everything about hockey, so I'm going to ask. So they have a new name. Is that allowed mid-season? And then are they allowed to just like
no-show?
Get rid of the coach?
They can do whatever they want.
Add new players, like switch it on up, and now we're going to be called the Blueberry Bulldogs. Can that happen?
Yes. Yeah, to an extent. I mean, that happens anyway, right? I mean, the Phoenix Coyotes used to be the Phoenix Coyotes. Now they're the Arizona Coyotes because they don't actually play anywhere near Phoenix, and they actually never did to begin with. They played in a city called Glendale.
Team USA became the USA Ducks at one point. That was cool.
Yeah, names change all the time in many sports. The nicknames change, and sometimes the city name changes. Right, so you have in the States you had the stupid idiotic Redskins that became just in spite the fact that they don't want to use the name anymore. Now they're the football team, the Washington football.
No, I think they have a new name now, but I forget.
Oh, did they? Yeah, or is it the idiots? What is it?
I don't know. But yeah. And for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim the Anaheim Mighty Ducks became the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, and they switched that, back and forth.
It was the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
Oh, thanks, Jeff. So it's the Washington Commanders now. So the Washington
Commanders.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. And it was the Cleveland Indians that became the Saviors? What are they?
The
Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
All right, so that
now we just need to knock down the Blackhawks.
But not normally during its season. But to Awesome's point in the chat, when it's a sponsor involved, sponsors can do whatever they want.
Yeah, they can just switch it up. Because it's almost like it's a whole new team.
Oh, but they were the Bulldogs before. Now they're just the Blueberry Bulldogs. That's all. There was still.
It's like you're making it too dramatic.
Yeah,
they're not a new team. It's just all the players are still there. One of the players became a coach.
Yeah.
The other players will become the janitors and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So they're just adding
Jim.
Yeah.
Got you.
And it happens in the real league all the time. They call up players from the minor, from the bush leagues to come and people get injured and whatever. It's normal. It's all good.
The other thing that I was kind of stuck on, the Frankie JJ, the last time we saw him, there was bad blood. Like we were in the parking lot and they were waiting for him to come out.
If I had anything negative to say, for the first time I watched this, now I've watched it again, and I've noticed a few things. So I was a little disappointed in that there was really no huge follow between JJ and Shoresy.
There was no room for it. There was too much going on already in the episode.
Right. There's no time in the episode, but I mean, still, like Shoresy tried to break his leg. And you know what I mean? There was no real follow. So, but what I've noticed though, especially in the flashbacks in this episode to the championship game where Shoresy's chirping JJ's not really reacting too much, and we're seeing JJ. He doesn't say much, and he's always got kind of this empty expression. Like maybe he's not too bright, and maybe he's just too dumb to be offended or angry too long. You know what I mean? Like
he has his priorities. He's there for the girls.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to be distracted by this nonsense.
I don't care why I'm there though. If somebody tried to like break my leg, I'd be pretty pissed. Especially.
Well, that's why they don't call you Frankie JJ.
I think he laughs. So Casey's right. Like and during that one of the chirps, he's laughing at Shoresy. So it's like it rolls off his back. But I feel like, and I mean. He doesn't
because
say
he
much.
knows that there's a nice girl waiting for him after the game. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I just think he's not very bright. But anyway, I was a little disappointed that there was very lack of
no like
there's no confrontation.
There was nothing. Yeah. It was like it didn't even happen.
There's 4 more episodes. Something might happen.
Maybe.
You never know.
We'll see. Anyway,
and hey, it happens all the time. Sometimes Lex Luthor and Superman have to work together to defeat Brainiac. You know what I mean? Like,
oh man. Okay.
Oh, Victor, you had a lot of rest today.
Yeah.
That lunch.
Somebody
you should do more
somebody
often.
in the chat actually said Victor went to the spa today.
No curmudgeons tonight.
Oh gosh, so awesome. Next question. Why are we always visualizing people having sex with animals? Like,
wait,
I knew you were going to bring this up.
Like, I feel like that's
the caribou is the new ostrich.
The caribou is the new ostrich.
Did you just call it the Care Bear?
Caribou.
Caribou. Caribou is having sex with people. And I just thought that was interesting that we've got a new animal people relationship that, we're visualizing to see how would that work and could it happen?
Did you just said we like the royal we as if we're all visualizing.
I said all of us are visualizing it now because they stick it in your head, right?
And we also have
did they stick it in your head?
They kind of stick it in your head. They come back to it a couple of times. Like the ladies are on the inside and they're in the kitchen and they're like, well, really, you wouldn't take on the caribou. The caribou would take on you. You know what I mean? And then you're like, oh yeah, I kind of know what you mean. That would have to happen. And anyways, so I visualized. Anyway. I'll check a YouTube video on that later.
Don't check YouTube videos.
I'll get a text after the show.
Yeah.
It will happen.
I figured it out.
Okay, so Trace, this is a shout out to you, my friend.
We have a hand up. This is rare. Hold on.
Oh, Eliza?
All right.
We have a hand up.
Guys, I feel so bad, but I've been away from work for 4 days now, and today was my first day back, and I'm just so tired, so I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay, before you go,
okay, you jump.
Before you go, give us.
You go.
So bad.
Give us your rating.
Tired.
Before you go, give us your rating.
Give us
Okay, my rating today is definitely a fresh.
Okay.
I loved it just because. Okay, the whole not calling your parents thing.
Mm-hmm.
My whole childhood,
and last week.
So do you still call your mom when you go out?
Yes. No. Okay. So not calling my parents. My mom had a whistle because we didn't have a phone because I'm young, old enough to not have a phone when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a whistle. And we had
Did all the neighborhood dogs come running?
Yeah.
But no, we had a specific pattern that she would blow under her whistle.
I love that.
For my sister to come home because we could hear it from the park near our house.
You know what, Eliza? I just called Al the other day. We were in a grocery store.
We were at the Costco.
And a whistle doesn't work. And so we have the sound of a crow. So we go, caw, caw. And so if you hear a caw, caw in a store, it's me calling
the whole
Al.
Store turned around. Who's the crazy woman? Who's the crazy woman?
Total truth. That totally happens.
Is that your safe word as well?
But it works.
It so works.
It worked because I knew she was trying to get my attention because no one else would ever fucking do that.
No one would do that. Me, I do that.
I make that sound enough. I'd probably react to it.
Oh my God, Eliza.
No one makes that sound. So
I was prepared for tonight. I'm just too tired.
Okay.
Take a picture of that and put it in a DM.
Yeah, and put it in a dual tang and then send it to us. Well, last thing, game stick. Who do you give the game stick to? The MVP.
Sanguinette.
Sanguinette.
Nice.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You are dismissed.
Eliza.
You can go to bed.
Thank you guys. Bye guys.
Thank you, Eliza.
Feel better.
Good night, Eliza.
Good night, Eliza.
It's amazing.
We were bailed on twice in the same night.
Yeah.
She's the sweetest thing ever.
Well, we have gone a little long because that recap involved so many bios. So Matt,
There was a lot.
oh, you're not done. Go ahead. Sorry.
Get off my dick.
Pitter patter.
I want to say this whole long last names flipping back and forth from Nat
The
and
Dutch
Zeke
team. Yeah.
and the hockey players out by the barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
They're in different areas, but they were talking about the same thing, and they were flipping back and forth.
I knew you would nitpick at that.
I was like,
wait a minute. You're talking about her nitpicking on things, Victor? Really?
Really?
What did I nitpick at this episode?
Not this one, but in many, many other cases.
Yeah.
100 other episodes you've been playing.
Yeah.
You haven't found a nit you didn't like picking.
I just thought that was like.
That sounded so drunk when I said that.
one.
I noticed it, Tanya. I noticed it. But I let it go.
If the women had have said something in order to tie it in as to the reason why they were saying the last names as well as the guys.
Al mentioned the other day that one of his favorite movies or favorite Cusack movies is High Fidelity. And what does he do in that movie? He breaks the fourth wall. He's talking to the camera, and at the same time, he's talking to his friends at the store. So you know what? Sometimes you just got to let it go.
Wow.
Okay.
No, I know.
Was I just told to let it go by Victor?
Yeah.
Oh my!
I'm gonna clip that and use it in every episode from now on.
Wowza!
What else you got?
Yeah, cheese on chicken melted on the barbecue. I have not done that.
Why not? Burgers, chicken breast,
Burgers,
why not?
yes. Chicken, I haven't done that.
But
But
like veal parmesan, isn't that basically the same thing?
in the oven, not on the barbecue. I don't know.
I think you're really
done that
picking at
before.
Nick's.
No. That
You're
was just
looking
like,
for stuff.
it was
You're
a
looking
comment.
for a
It was a
fight.
comment.
You're
It was a
looking for a
comment.
fight. You're
No.
you're like William.
Oh,
You're
that's
just
where I
looking for-
left off.
God damn it.
Trace. I was thinking about Trace because I was really paying attention, Trace. And when the song and the montage came on, I was like, oh yeah, I can see it. And I really enjoyed the montage. So there was like a lot packed into that song.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And them coming onto the ice and coming together as a team, a new team, and taking the ice. And
So,
I just
thanks to Trace's episode, you're now paying more attention.
I'm
to
paying
the
more
montage.
attention and I'm appreciating them. And I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So, and sticks are fantastic. You have to, and I had it in my notes. You touched on it earlier. You have to eat them over the bowls. That's the only way to eat them.
That's ridiculous.
It is so true.
Amateur hour.
It's so true. Anyways, I'm loving Shoresy. I'm loving his eyes are open and I just feel more connected to him. And I'm so glad that there's deeper character to him and not just the whole chirping. I'm really digging him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So let's move. We're gotta speed up here. Ratings. Matt, what do you give this episode?
It's a hands down. It's a beauty. Is that what we're going with?
No,
we didn't
we're
really
sticking
land
to our
it.
rating system. Thank you, though. So it's a fresh.
It's a beauty.
Mm-hmm.
It's how can it not be?
Mhm.
It's a top 5, and I'll use what Victor Letterkenny universe
Mhm.
across the board episode. They just did such brilliant things. It made me very happy. So yeah.
Okay. I agree. It's a fresh episode for me too. And for all the reasons you guys mentioned. Victor?
It's a Gordie Howe fresh hat trick.
Wow.
That's no doubt about it.
Okay, Tanya, it's to you.
Huh?
God damn it.
Well done.
Right?
Well done.
Right?
But you didn't ask a
Only
question
problem-
first.
she didn't ask the
Yeah,
question.
you have to ask.
fuck.
You
All
have
right.
to ask a question.
I'll
and
try
then-
I appreciate your effort, though.
I'll try next time. For
And you're supposed to say,
sure.
who, me?
Hands down. Hands down. Fresh.
Oh my god.
All right. We have our first unicorn of Shoresy.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I regret nothing!
Excellent. So let's get back up to the top. Matt, who do you give your game stick to?
As much as I love all the new introductions, this one goes to Shoresy. He delivered in so many epic scenes. But if you want to summarize it down to 2, it's the Laura Moore scene and the gym scene. Like, those are top level scenes from the Letterverse and
Letterverse.
and it's a Shoresy all day on this one.
Okay. I'm going to go off script a bit here because I have a feeling that Laura Moore is going to become the Tannis for Shoresy. And I really enjoyed that scene with her. And I love her reaction and her playfulness with Shoresy. So I'm going to give it to her. I'm a little smitten. She's awesome.
Her laugh in response to him was so just on point and so
genuine.
cute. I loved it. Yeah, so genuine is the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Victor, how about you?
Yeah, well, even though you DJs are thinking I'm probably going to give it to the bird, I'm not. I'm going to give it to also probably off the board a bit because I think I want to let these new characters marinate a bit and see what they bring and how they develop. But I'm going to give it to Nig because I feel like she's the female
Nat.
Oh, Nat. Sorry,
not Nat.
Neat? Who's neat?
Meeg.
Oh, Meeg. I thought you said neat.
Meeg.
I heard Nate.
Okay.
Okay, each of you heard something different.
Yeah, I know. I heard Nate.
It's
too,
like an ink blot.
So Meeg, that's interesting.
That says more about you. Than about me.
Please explain. Please explain.
Because she is like the female version of Sanguinette, and they're gonna get together. They're clearly they're smitten with each other. They're gonna get
She's
together.
so cute, man.
I thought that scene with the buffalo or the caribou.
Caribou.
Buffalo.
was a caribou, right? Yeah. That scene, like she was perfect in it. Like the way that just her physical acting, how she was looking, the way she was delivering lines. That's what made that scene more interesting than it could have been. Otherwise, it's just people talking on a patio about chicken legs or nuggets or whatever, right? That interlude there, the interchange, and then Tanya's issue with the whole how can they read each other's minds? I thought she really nailed that scene, and overall, every time she's in the scene, I want to see more of her.
Okay.
I'm more interested in her out of the three.
Interesting.
So I really liked her, and I think she's going to continue to develop and be an interesting character and be like the female version of Sanguinet.
Aaron wanted you to give it to Jim.
That would have been a good one.
That would have been a good one.
Yeah,
it was perfect for you.
That would have been good.
It was all teed up.
10.
It was.
Who do you give this to?
You know what? I'd be good to you. Shoresy all the way. Like, oh my gosh, this guy, fantastic. Absolutely, hands down. I love every single scene he was in, and I loved it. Loved it.
Is it safe to say this is, at least it was for me, this is the episode where Shoresy went from being a dickhead to being a level of charming and layers to him. Like we saw a whole different version of him.
He didn't do a single dick move in this
Likable
episode. Not a single
all the
dick
way.
move.
Likable
you're right.
all the way. Like he really was.
Really made him shine.
Other than continuously telling him to shut the fuck up.
No, but that's endearing. That doesn't count. Even when on the ice with the teenagers,
I was just going to say.
There wasn't a single scene where he acted like a dick.
And he was taking the chirps from the teenagers because he knew he needed to eat it.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
Yeah, they set him up as likable, so it doesn't matter what they do from here on. We'll remember he can be likable.
Yeah, he's now a baby face. That's it.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll turn him, eh? If they'll turn him into this, like back to the yeah. Is this a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing?
We'll see.
Well, we'll see.
All right, top 5. So, we've only got 2 episodes to compare to each other. Matt, last week's episode was your number one.
This is number 1.
This is number 1 now. Okay. I agree. It's my number 1 as well. Victor?
I've been marinating, and this is now my number 1 Letterverse episode. Period.
So the consensus in the live stream is that we should be calling this the Kisoverse.
The Kisoverse? I don't know.
I like Letterverse.
Letterverse?
Kiso, because Kiso is fourth wall, right? Because they're supposed to be in their character.
Oh.
In their characters. And there's no Kiso in a Letterverse, but there's a Shoresy and there's a Wayne. But
I would second that. And we make the rules because it's our show.
Right. Okay. Letterverse. What about the Kennyverse? No. Okay. All right. So we'll move on. Tanya, where does this rank?
Yeah. So, it ranks number 1, bitch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what I figured.
Love your aggression.
All right. Cool. This is great. I love it. So we're going to move on here. So just got a bunch of cold open bracket results to give out. So Katie's Big Tarts, big winner over the Sock Hop Yarn, 105-36. 8 beers lost to Toilet Talk.
Of course.
By a fine 1 vote.
Dude,
that was my vote. I'm happy to say that was my vote.
No, I think it might have been
close.
Jeff McHenry's vote because I think he voted for himself. So definitely. 5.15 inches beats out Babies Aren't Smart, 87.54. That one could have gone either way for me anyway, but okay. $25 steak dinner loses to Tarps Off Boys, the OG cold open, 97.
That was a hard one for
steak dinner?
97-61.
God, I love steak dinner. That is like my all-time favorite.
Well,
I was really hoping that was going to win.
It was tough, but in the end, it's the OG. Like it's the one that most people got turned on to Letterkenny with Tarps Off.
Steak dinner was hilarious.
This one here was crazy. Moist versus Roberta Bondar. So Roberta Bondar opened with a huge lead, and then Moist caught up and they tied. Exactly tied at the end of 24 hours. They were tied 86.
Wasn't it tied to like 180 votes or 186
it was like
votes or something?
I forget how many votes, a crazy number of votes, 86 apiece. So at first I was like, what do? I thought I'd do like a coin flip or whatever, but then somebody in the DM group said, no, you should just do a sudden death 1 hour overtime. So that's what I did. I set up a new poll for 1 hour. And again, it was like neck and neck right into the end. I believe Roberta Bondar finally pulled away near the end.
Well, that's fucking Bondar right there.
Yeah. So Bondar for prime minister, she came out on top. So 87-86 for Roberta Bondar over
You should
Moist.
use that as a PSA for every election going forward. Every vote counts.
Yes.
And I apologize. I know some made the comment that this is way more exciting than it should be.
Really? It's true. So many people
and
are like,
I'm with you. I'm like, when I say these close ones, I'm like, literally, I'm working and I'm like, I have it on standby, refreshing my screen. I'm like, who's in the lead? No, I need to coax votes. This is going the wrong way.
There's a lot of lobbying going on. It's hilarious.
Fake accounts.
It's hilarious.
How you guys have a full-time job and still keep up? I have no idea.
Work for a better company. All right. The Hickoff. The Hickoff won easily over Crepes in the Barn, 87-33. And Beat Dick December beat out Derry versus Dan, 75-45. So tidy win there. And the one that's currently going on right now, Take the Dirt Road, 44. Angie's Accent, 15. This was earlier on. I know the scores are a little higher now, but so far it looks like Takes the Dirt Road is going to win this one.
I disagree with.
Yeah?
I think there's people hear anal jokes and they're like, ha ha ha, ha. But they're not. It's
basically,
I said it's attention's paid the sequel.
It is.
And sequels are rarely as even on par with their OG. And I think
there's only one Godfather too.
What tipped the scales for this one for me was the use of the baked goods as props. So I thought it was hilarious.
It was a great. These are all great at this point.
Yeah,
the
for
32 round, they're all great, but it's just fun to watch.
All right, then we move on to a little bit of news that just happened today. Actually, pretty exciting. Crave has announced they've picked up Letterkenny for season 12. So
fantastic.
we're all waiting on pins and needles for when season 11 is going to drop because we know that it's already been shot in the can. So that should happen anytime.
They announced Shoresy season 2 yet?
They have not announced Shoresy yet. Right. But this is the first time we've heard that of a season 12, and Crave has said we're doing Shores or Letterkenny season 12. So that's exciting news. I wonder when they'll shoot that. Hopefully, scripts have been written, and maybe they'll shoot a winter season. Maybe they'll shoot it, in November like they've done in the past. So
they need Letterkenny to go on vacation.
Oh, good one.
Yeah. Or just Letterkenny, Wayne and the Hicks in Toronto. Come to the city.
Right.
That'd be kind of fun.
Go somewhere different.
Come to the city.
Yeah, like pig in the city, right?
Yeah, exactly. We have some listener comments. I listened to the interview. This is the Bradley Trudeau interview, and I thought it was great. Bradley is a very down-to-earth guy, and I'm lucky enough to consider him my friend. That's from our buddy, Billy Buttrey. Thank you, Billy. You guys always making me smile, and that's what I appreciates about you. That's our buddy Eric from Washington State, not DC. We did it, friends. We did it. That's Jeff McHenry. He's reacting to when the toilet talk won by one vote.
I love that. When I saw that made my morning. I'm like, that's awesome. So good.
But then he also said, because the very next one was 25 steak dinner against the original cold open, and a lot of people were like, how is $25 steak dinner not winning? And he tweeted out, thanks for the love for $25 steak dinner. I appreciate it, Jason. It was our buddy Jason who was saying that. The very first cold open is one of the funniest scenes in TV history, though. No shame in losing to the best. Yeah. So that's from Jeff.
Oh, what a guy. Amazing.
All right.
I love that he's following along.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. Yeah,
it's amazing.
So we're down to final comments. So Matt, do you have anything to say?
I'm so excited to be doing these again.
There's so much fun.
I know we mentioned last week, but there's such a gap. I mean, these review episodes are always like everything's fun, but these are real. We get into the nitty gritty, and I got to call something out. And this is the first time it's just been the four of us. I know Eliza had to leave and we miss her.
Eliza's come in and out.
But this is the first. She might come back actually. Hold on. No. But this is the first time it's just been the four of us in a while, and it's weird. I mean, I miss our guys and our people, and it's so much fun. But it's just love it. This community is so great, and these bracket stuff here that you've been running, I look forward to them every day.
Yeah, me too.
And let's keep them going.
Yeah.
Everyone keep your votes coming. Bring us the content. And we just keep pushing this stuff out, and it's so much fun.
We've been getting amazing voting numbers, so keep it going.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's been really
retweet them, share them, get people moving. These are fun because we need to get the real numbers. And we've still got a few hours left for Angie's accent to have a comeback. So
there we go, lobbying already.
Go out there, do the right thing, guys. Do the right thing.
Right thing.
Yes. Thank you, Eliza, for joining us part time, and you did great. We loved having you back, and your good luck keeps on delivering. So Dustin Rose, we were supposed to have him on last week. Darren, not Dustin. Sorry, Darren Rose. We were supposed to have him on last week, but he had to. He got called for a last minute replacement gig for somebody who had COVID. So understandable. And then so we were going to do this week, but because he missed last week, there was a bunch of work that he had to get done this week. So now we're going to try to get him on next week. But he really wants to come on. We're just trying to arrange a schedule. So hopefully we're going to have him on. I've also got some exciting other guests lined up that I'll talk about soon. So thank you to Eliza for joining us. You did a great job. And yes, I agree. This has been fun doing these recap review episodes again. So hopefully, season 11 of Letterkenny isn't too far off. Victor?
Yeah, well, first of all, Eliza, thanks for coming on. You, I guess, share now something very much with Matt, because you guys are the only two that have had to drop out mid-episode. So,
it's an elite list.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of the community, I was going to bring this up I forgot I was going to, in my intro, I was going to talk about this, and I wonder if I should talk about it now or save it for next week's intro.
You're going to forget, so talk about it now.
Yeah. And actually, we will see, right? We'll see if Steven actually listens to the episode all the way to the end. So I decided every now and then I like to listen to Steven's podcast. They talk about stuff that I'm interested in. So whether it's kind of beef jerky or, clerks or things like that. And they had one episode that did a while back about Hotel California, the album. And usually I like those episodes because they're kind of a nice palate cleanser for me between other things that I listen to.
It's Steven after all.
But that one was not a palate cleanser. It kind of really it's just like it left a bad taste in my mouth. They there was so much ignorance and nonsense going on in that episode.
So maybe they should have you on to
oh my God. Just
defend.
There was so much, because first of all, they have Marcus. I don't know if you know this Marcus from Sweden. So he's awesome. He's a very interesting guy, and he says it like it is. He's like a perfect hardline Swede, and but he had no idea who the Eagles were. He had no idea what the Hotel California was about, but he still gave his critique of it, and it was the most ridiculous critique in the world. but then Tucker also was he hated the album, and he didn't have anything good to say about it, but it was for all the wrong reasons. They basically just hated all the slow songs. It's like you're gonna shit on a song because it's slow. Like then you're completely not appreciating the genius and the beauty of the actual musicianship that it took to write and sing and play all of the songs on that album. But there was like easily 4 bangers on that album, and they were struggling to find one. I mean, it was embarrassing. It was fucking embarrassing.
Shots
Steven,
fired. You call them out. Maybe you can go on their podcast and berate them in person.
And they were dissecting every song on the album, and when they were talking about Hotel California, they completely didn't mention the fact that they totally stole that whole. They were going on about how interesting the chord progression was, and how unique it was, and how it had the kind of the reggae beat. they completely didn't mention how they completely stole that chord progression from Jethro Tull. And, you know, this is kind of a well-known fact. And that to this day, Jethro Tull is okay with it. And the Eagles have, to this day, have refused to admit that they have indeed stolen that from them. Wow. But anyway, so it's just an interesting fun fact to talk about if you're going to talk about Hotel California. But anyway.
Okay.
Welcome to the back half of our show where we do reviews of the guys' review.
Yeah. It's very, very meta here. Very meta.
Yeah. Anyway, so I love. By the way, Stephen, I love the podcast and I listen to it regularly. And you guys do a great job most of the time.
Okay, Tan, save us here.
Shout out to Eliza. Thank you so much for coming on and off and on again, because that was fantastic to see you. It was really good to get some of your insights as to the show and the episode and all that. And Victor, oh my gosh, dude, your passion, like I just need a little
Well-rested
ounce of it.
Victor is always a fun Victor.
You are so much fun. I just love your passion and just keep at it. And, you know, you just write to the guys' review and let them know how you feel. And maybe you can get on there, dude.
I write them off and just to tell what's his name to fuck off all the time.
By the way, they did tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, they do on every episode. And that's usually when I turn it off. So that now they've learned to leave it.
You literally
to the
fuck
end.
off.
Yeah, I fuck off. Yeah.
You fuck off. Matt, thank you for giving us some little sneak peeks there of Moose. I just adore him completely and oh my gosh, I want a little face of him. Anyways, Al, tonight, dude, you pulled it out. Like you were so on point. You were so on point.
You weren't supposed to tell them. Oh,
not on my deck. You didn't.
You were so on point, and I loved all the little information that you had. You like really researched this, and
Al's got a good night ahead of him.
You did a great job.
We may have to cancel the after party.
I appreciated the show that much more. I'm still just talking. I appreciated the show that much more because now I have a deeper sense of who people are, and I appreciate that about you. Even though we're not doing Letterkenny and we're doing Shoresy.
Okay.
Beaver Lumber. Shout out to Beaver Lumber too.
All right,
Matt, I think you need to stick some beaver on that lumber.
Mercifully,
you can put it back in now.
That's the best segue to another random thought.
I'm going to play us off here with a song from this episode. It's "Feel Blessed" by Joe Dolo. This is the song he does in the cold open.
It's really good.
Hey. L. Hey. F. Dolo. Met the shawty at the Sherman. She was a little nervous, cause my reputation, I'm a bad influence. She never met a real G, never seen the whole clique. Back with always lit, throwing gang sign in this bitch. Yeah, I'm from the east side with my niggas from the west. Everybody chillin', time to give you gonna rest. Everybody drippin', nobody wearing the vest. Yeah, we out here tonight.
And that's all we have for this episode. Next week, we review and recap episode 3 of Shoresy, Know Your Role, with our buddy and first timer Joey. Don't forget to give our sponsor Diabolical Coffee. Joey. Don't forget to give our sponsor Diabolical Coffee some love. They are at diabolicalcoffee.com. Right now, you can use the promo code PRODUCESTAND for 10% off any purchase of their site. If you'd like to support this podcast, tell your friends. Rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or become a patron. There's a Patreon link on our site, Twitter profile, ProduceStandPod. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at ProduceStandPod. Thanks for joining us. Now we're going to go to the after party. On behalf of Eliza, Matt, Victor, Tanya, and myself, thank you for listening. Have a great week.
Babe, I'ma say it's you. You can count on me. I'ma count on you. I feel blessed. I love myself. Yeah, I can hold you. It's been a too long time since you had a good time. But if you say it's me, I'ma show you.